The following broadcast is intended for mature audiences. These are real people sharing very real, deeply personal experiences. This content may be considered triggering for others and for those who are sharing. The chat room is a privilege intended for discussions and sharing. You are not being asked to agree, but you are being asked to stay civil and refrain from personal attacks. Listener discretion is advised. All right, welcome back to Am I Mental? A live weekly podcast where real people share real stories about living lives with mental health issues and things that impact their mental health. I'm your host, E. With us, as always, is our co-host, C.
Oh, hello.
And Bexy decided to switch it up a little here.
Hello, everybody.
And before we get started, just a few things really fast. One, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is also Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. Tomorrow is also International Mental Health Day. So just a few little things out there. October is a pretty important month. Not just because it's Halloween, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And I mean, I love Halloween. Aside from that, if you want to help us out, the best thing you could do, share episodes. Find ones that resonate with you or you think will resonate with others and share them. We've been credited with helping lives and saving some lives. You know, it's awesome stuff, and we want to keep that going, see how many people we can save, and who knows, might make a friend along the way. If you want to help us beyond that, you could go to mimental.net/donations. There's a number of ways you can donate. All of it goes straight to keeping this podcast going, paying for our hosting, paying for the website. And if we start getting where we start having a little extra money left over, I have a few things I would like to get. As I've mentioned before, I do want to get our own personal apps for iOS and Android, but it's not cheap. I want to get transcription services. That's actually fairly cheap. But yeah, there's a few things I want to do, but we need to get to where we can sustain that a little better than these once a year hosting, once a year website. And also, we do have a Teespring store, so if you want to buy some swag, like shirts, tote bags, masks, stickers, whatever, go ahead and check it out. It's on that page as well. With all that said, I am feeling like crap. I have a sinus infection, so I don't know how much I'm going to be involved. So the co-host may have to take over, but we have Bob. Welcome back.
Yes. You may have known me as Mr. W on my last episode, but yes, I am back for part 2.
Yes, awesome. I'm glad that you came back. There was definitely a lot to still discuss.
Yes. And I just want to say I'm extremely proud of you for coming back. And, it's a big thing, and it's a scary thing to put yourself out there. And you've done it not only once, but twice. So bravo.
Definitely. So, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, let's see. Wait. When was I last on? Like, August?
I can look that up. I'm sure Bexy and I are both scrambling to try to get it first.
I actually had just gotten a message from Missy who says that regrettably she cannot make it tonight, but she sends everyone her love.
Aw.
Was it down the rabbit hole?
No, I don't know.
Wow. Okay, so we should have just kept going with guest names as opposed to other stuff like down the rabbit hole and stuff like that. The season is cursed. Jamie is here to stay. A beautiful mirror. I remember that was a good one. I wasn't in that one, but I did listen to it. That was a really good one. Was it A Broken Man?
No, that was someone else. Brandy, Sarah.
There was one more 6 for fun because it was season 6, episode 6, and then add in the
think
extra
that was
6.
I think that was it.
One more 6 for fun.
I think so.
Yeah, that'd have been July 29th.
Jesus.
Been almost a year. Man, it goes fast, doesn't it?
Been a long 3 months, almost. 2.5. Ugh.
Time is going faster than I can handle.
Fun thing is that the more busy you are, the faster things tend to seem to go. Whereas if you're not... Basically, so there was a saying that... Oh, God, someone was talking about the perception of time. I don't remember if it was on the podcast or something I heard somewhere else. Like, the more that you engage your mind on things, the more you recognize that time is lasting and it seems to go slower. Like, when you're bored, you're trying to find things to do. You're trying to find things to engage your mind. Well, your mind's engaged in trying to find something. Whereas if you're doing a bunch of routine stuff, and we are creatures of habit and routine, you don't notice the time. So time seems to fly when you're really stuck in routine.
That makes sense because in school I would stare at the clock and it felt like an hour went by and it's only been like 2 minutes.
Right? Like, wow,
I
this has
used to
been a
swear the
long
clock
day.
was ticking backwards when I was in school.
Like, this was a long day. Look at the clock. It's only been 10 minutes. What the hell?
Exactly.
But Bob, let's get you going. So you did mention something kind of funny before we got started. If you wanted to go with that.
Yes. So, just a few short days ago, on Monday, my parents' 35th wedding anniversary. But that same day, my state's sort of approved of, kind of maligned first-term governor, J.B. Pritzker, passed a resolution declaring that October 4th is now Child Abuse Awareness Day in Illinois, specifically known as 10-4 Day, but yeah.
Which is ironic considering what we're talking about.
Deeply.
You're like, oh, I'm aware.
It's like way more aware than I want to be.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Been a few weeks now, but a while back, my brother...
We can barely hear you.
My brother's
Yeah.
and he went down to Carbondale to shoot a film. And, he had to borrow the car, which kind of sucked because I was stuck at home for, 4 days by myself. Basically, couldn't do anything because he's got the car. I'm happy for him, but it's like, seriously, my parents get mad that, I'm cold calling places and trying to, get a job. Meanwhile, oh, hey, Joe needs the car for a few days, for almost a week to drive down to Carbondale. There you go. There's the keys. Drive safe.
All right.
Yeah, it definitely seems there's a difference in treatment.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting where I'm sitting here. Y'all listening to this podcast can't see this, but you guys can see this. Right here is this picture frame, which they got a decade ago for their 25th anniversary. Which... Oh, yeah, they'd celebrated that in Napa Valley. So that's where this photo was taken. Here. They how they've stayed together this long, I honestly don't know. don't get me wrong. I've seen way worse, marriages, way less happy marriages. But 35 years.
It's a feat. I'll say that. But some people feed off and enable each other, and I don't know the case. I don't know enough
I
about.
wouldn't rule that out.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely would say that they've somehow made it work, and good for them. But I think
Enough about them.
but we're not here to.
Subject to
Well, I mean, we're here to talk about you, which I know which involves talking about them. So
really, especially lately, just pisses me off is they, and mostly mom, but dad does too, have been spouting off that, they love us equally, and there's
right.
no difference. And it's like, who are you trying to convince? Who the fuck are you trying to convince?
If you want me to believe that's the truth, then show me. Don't just say, "Oh, we love you equally." Then you should treat us equally.
Like, yeah, I know that you guys love both of us, and I'm not saying that they haven't done and still do a lot for both of us.
Right.
What?
Hey, Bob, I don't mean to cut you off, but your audio is kind of going in and out between very muffled to very loud. I just wanted to tell you that because some of the audience is having a bit of a hard time too. I just wanted to tell you.
Yeah. Wait. If I. Is that better?
Please pause for technical difficulties. No.
Is that better?
I think we can hear you better now.
Good.
Yeah.
Now that the video's off, you can hear me. Yeah, so...
Right.
Yeah, like, seriously, who the fuck are they trying to convince?
Well, I
Me
understand
or themselves?
I mean, honestly, I can't really give an answer for that, but it does sound like they're trying to convince themselves more than they are you.
That's what I was thinking.
So.
There's...
I sure hope so.
There's obviously been a difference made between the two of you. And while they may not see it, or they may see the different treatment as, being for one child's own good, I just don't subscribe to that that kind of making a difference in one child over another.
Look,
I don't get it.
Right.
I'm not saying that Joe hasn't earned a lot of the praise that he gets.
Oh, I understand that. Because I know
he's a great
you love your
actor.
brother.
He's going places.
Right.
Look it up. He is going to be a star one of these damn days. I guarantee you.
Right.
You'll remember someday. Joe Walsh will not just be, a singer from the Eagles and a disgraced former senator from Illinois. Or representative. Sorry.
But that's the thing. You can be proud of your brother and love your brother for the person he is.
And I
but
am, and
still
I do.
have but still have an issue with the preferential treatment, differential treatment that you get from your parents, because it's not your brother's fault. And obviously, you recognize that.
Yeah,
I know this is a hard subject to open up about and to talk about. So it's
Take your
okay to
time.
take your time.
well, I'm
Yeah.
fine talking about it. I'm just worried that they're going to find out.
Well,
And I'll just, wind up disappearing.
well, I certainly hope not.
Not literal, not physically, but it's happened before.
That's I know that's a worry. That's another reason I was really proud of you, because I know how worried you are about the ramifications of,
Talking about it.
yes, of talking about it, of having the people that have, been the issue, finding out about you, talking about it. But you need to have a place. I mean, this is a safe place to talk about things. I really don't believe that they're gonna come across this, but
I feel like, what was her name? Oh, that woman who just spoke out about Facebook. What was her name? That lady,
Your little-
that whistleblower. You heard about it, right?
no.
The Facebook staffer
No.
spoke before Congress earlier this week or last week.
No, I haven't heard about it.
Some lady, she was in the security department at Facebook, and she appeared before the Senate, before a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, to blow the whistle about Facebook. And honestly, not that this is a tribunal, but I feel her pain.
No, I
Right.
You always see
understand.
these articles like, oh, most dangerous occupations like cops and loggers and farmers. You know what? Number one, most dangerous occupation in the world, whistleblower. The squeakiest gear is the first to get greased.
But the thing is, if people don't step up and step out of their comfort zone and speak out about things that are wrong, then we
It'll
don't
just
get
go in-
anywhere. We don't get
Right.
anywhere. We just go around and we perpetuate this cycle of, viciousness that just goes on and on and on. And it's, every one of our guests on here have taken a step out of their comfort zone. And even we have done it ourselves. So we know what it's like to be sitting in the hot seat and have to have, people listening to you, and you're wondering, what if the wrong person hears this? But sometimes the best thing you can do is just be honest and let people know that, hey, this is something that I've experienced and I've gone through, and it's not okay.
Right.
It's not okay that you've been treated the way that you have. It's not okay for anyone to suffer any kind of, abuse, be it mental, emotional, physical, sexual. It is not okay.
I believe I've told at least one of you this before, but once, and I can't believe I'm saying that. Even a few years ago, I would never have said this. But when the time comes and Mom's no longer here, this podcast is going to be chump change compared to where I'm going to blow the whistle.
Well, you know,
Y'all be telling people.
yeah, I understand that. That sometimes it's, you know, but at least this podcast right now, small as it may be, it is a place where you can come and you can air your grievances without fear of, you know, judgment or anything from anybody on here, because we're just here for you to let you tell your story.
Exactly.
Yes, and I appreciate that. And I'll admit, this is a little selfish of me to say, but one of the reasons why I'm kind of proud that my brother, Joe, is going to be, you know, becoming this great actor and this great star, well, what tends to happen when you get famous? What do you tend to build?
You build a following, you build publicity.
You also build
Not sure.
connections.
Ah, yes, yes. I wasn't thinking that along
Media
that.
connections.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
If he becomes a famous actor, he's going to meet other famous actors. And they're going to know other famous actors. And they're going to know other people who work in the media, you know, journalists, whoever. I mean, just last year before, he was lucky enough to attend a lecture by John C. Reilly, you know, the Step Brothers guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you should have told me. I'd have been there too. It was a one-night thing because John C. Reilly started in Second City here in Chicago. And, you know, he always gives back.
Yeah,
And every so often, you know, once every few years, he'll come by and he'll do a show. He'll do like a lecture at either at Second City or at DePaul, because he had taken a couple acting classes at DePaul before he went to Second City. And he never, I don't think he ever graduated. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he ever did. I think he just moved on and became an actor. But he started at Second City, and you know, now he's a decently famous actor. And he still gives back.
Right.
yes.
But you know, it's like it's almost like or you know, before recently, this would be dating myself referencing this, but now they're making this new movie about it. It's
You're
like,
sounding a little
Dune.
muffled again. Oh, sorry.
It's like Dune. You know, he who controls the spice controls the universe. Once you have any sort of connections in the media, it all opens up. I mean, look at people like, people like Kaepernick or Bubba Wallace or, for example.
The truth comes out eventually.
It always does. You know, it always does. And, you know, and the thing is, you get to control when you share your truth. You know, that is all on you. And when you're comfortable in your own time, when you're emotionally ready for it, you know, that's all up to you.
In theory.
Well, not just in theory. I mean, everybody has some things that they keep to themselves, and things that they keep to themselves that, you know, that for years and years that can eat away at their soul, at their confidence, at their self-esteem. And when you choose to just let that go and release it, and you speak it to the world, and there's such a feeling of relief. At least there was for me. It's like when you find, people who will genuinely listen. It's not about, taking someone else down or, getting revenge or anything like that. It is all about unburdening your own soul.
Right.
And sometimes that's enough. But, in other cases, there should be more done. I mean, you and I have talked extensively about some of the things that you've gone through, and it's not right. It's not okay. So, but I understand how it may be very difficult to open up that way to like an audience of people.
Right. Definitely.
So just as a little bit of a refresher for the people who are listening and everything like that, and maybe anybody new, when do you first remember feeling like there was a difference being made between you and your brother?
Oh God. Probably. Oh geez. I mean, when I first noticed it,
Yes.
was probably like late high school for me. So like 8th grade, early high school for him.
Okay.
So that was about 8 years ago.
How?
I would say that I started to notice. It really, it was little things here and there where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing my own thing, he's doing his, whatever. Okay, cool. But at first,
Right.
I just was like, whatever, it's our own thing. But I will say, by the time that Joe was becoming, I would say, sophomore or junior in high school,
Mm-hmm.
it really came to a head. It really started to come to a head. And it was impossible to ignore. Because at that point, Joe discovered his acting chops and started doing theater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, my. Sweet Jesus. There were few days in this house where something that wasn't related to that wasn't coming up. Either Joe was bringing it up, or Mom was playing something on some video on Facebook of one of his performances, or God knows what else.
So it always seemed to be all about him.
99% of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once in a while, something I did would come up, in the moment. Like, oh, I won this achievement award back in 2015. It's for disabled students at the junior college I was at. And we were celebrating that.
Right.
And, I graduated from that college, and now I'm going to a 4-year university. Oh, cool. We'll celebrate that for a couple days. then it's back to normal. And, you know, and I'll be among the first to admit that compared to Joe, I ain't achieved shit. Yes,
Okay.
we've both graduated from college. Yes, you know, we've both had our achievements, but it is like comparing, I don't know, it's like comparing someone who happened to be a decent football player in like high school or like intramural or like JV football in college to someone who is, you know, to you know, a decently high level quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
I mean, I do have to say one thing though. It doesn't matter what your brother has achieved and you feel that you haven't. There, you should be, and also I feel that your parents should be just proud of you for being the person that you are.
Exactly.
I think, or at least hope they are, but they don't express it nearly enough.
Yeah, and I can get the feeling of, not living up to, the, I don't know,
They
the
don't.
reputation,
It's not that they don't respect me being the person I am, so much as they expect me to be the person I am. They demand me to be the kind and helpful person that I am. Kind, helpful, and servile person that I am.
and see, that's the thing, you cannot live your life in servitude of other people, because eventually it gets to a point where everything that you have is drained to almost nothing. And if you yourself are not taken care of, if you are not, practicing self-care and doing the things that are best for you, for your mental health, for your physical health, for all of this, it can drain you to the point where it will kill you.
It almost did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
11 months
dangerous
ago,
thing.
it almost did.
And that's, I have to say, I'm really glad you're still here.
I know the audience can't see it, but I'm nodding.
Yes, yes. It's
I will
I,
never, ever, if I ever have kids, which I probably won't, but if I ever have kids, I will tell my grandchildren this story. I remember early in the morning, that first full day, so November 18th last year, I had passed out in the hospital bed, and all of a sudden, everything around me, all three dimensions, was just white. Nothing, just white. And all of a sudden, this voice, this booming, loud, but not angry voice, surrounded me again in all three dimensions. And the only thing that it said was, "Not yet, Bob." And I woke up with a start, drowning in sweat.
yeah.
I'm
I
really
remember I was
glad
just
that
lying
voice
there in
said
the
not
bed.
yet.
I'm lying there, all sprawled out in the bed, hooked up to an IV, clinging to life. And I look over to my right, and Mom is sitting right there, practically in the bed with me, watching me sleep.
That's
I'm not a very religious person, but I'm pretty damn sure that voice was God.
I mean, some people, I will say this, aren't always able to, you know, pull out the I love yous all the time, but the sight of your mom sitting next to you when you're in the hospital must have been at least comforting.
In that moment, yes. In that very moment, that very instant, yes.
I realized that, you know, other situations, maybe her presence wasn't so comforting. I get that, you know. But
You know,
in
I
those
doubt
rare
that,
moments when it's there, it's nice.
I doubt that she
Right.
or anyone who knows her is listening to this podcast, but I came on the razor's edge of telling one of my nurses about Mom while she was gone. Because every day, for a couple hours, she'd go home, she'd freshen up, as you do. But otherwise, she was there with me those 5 days in the hospital. And
Right.
I came within moments of telling one of my nurses about Mom. And be like, look, here's what put me here.
Yeah.
Here's what got me in this situation in which we've met. You know, I'm happy that she's helping me now, but
It ain't always like this, lady.
she brought me here. Both
Right.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's
Here's
But
the thing.
like Bexy said, I'm glad you're still here.
right.
This nurse, her name's Heja. Hyejao. Heja. And she, God damn it, she's a saint. I can't thank her enough. What an amazing woman. Barely older than me. You know, born and raised in Korea, moved to Chicago to study nursing. Now she's working at Advocate Good Shepherd Hospital in the intensive care unit. On the day shift. I even told her, I was like, hey, Joe, if I had any strength, if I could actually stand right now, I would hug you.
Aw.
Remember you telling me that?
I would be squeezing you so tight it would hurt you.
You know,
But I can't, so I won't. And she grabbed my hand, and I was like, thank you. That means
I
a lot.
love it
Aw.
when you meet those people who give you hope again.
And
Or
then that night, my nurse, I can't remember her name offhand right now, but her son has Asperger's syndrome, like I do. And we talked about that all night, the three of us. We talked about that all night. Me, Mom, her.
Mhm.
Every time we saw this nurse, we talked about it. Her son's a rock star, man. Her son's in high school, real good kid, has a much lower functioning case of Asperger's than I do. But he's a rock star. And she told us about when they went to Metropolis, Illinois, which is way, way, way downstate. And Metropolis has been decorated like the town of Metropolis in the Superman comics. Got a big statue of Superman and a Superman museum and everything. It's awesome. I want to go there so bad. I'm not even a Superman
sounds
fan,
fun.
but I want to go there so bad. And being the jokester that her son is, he wore his Batman shirt to the Superman museum.
Yes, you go, dude.
He's like, screw this convention, I'm wearing my Batman shirt.
You go, dude.
that's kind of awesome. I love it.
and she showed me a photo of this, of her son standing in front of the Superman Museum wearing his Batman t-shirt. And I was laughing so hard I cried.
That is.
I'm like,
that
I
is
love
a
this
little
kid.
bit
I
of
haven't even
awesome.
met him. What an awesome kid.
Sounds like it.
I mean, that's my kind of kid.
And, but seriously, I came within a few. I caught myself about to tell Hey Joe about Mom.
Do you ever
Because I
look back
knew,
at
I'm
that
like,
moment?
they're
and
going to
wish
kick her
you
out of
had
the
it?
hospital if I keep talking. They're going to kick Mom out of the hospital if I keep talking. I need her here.
I was about to ask, do you ever look back on that moment and wish you had said something?
Part of me does.
Yeah.
But the rest of me knew it's like, they would have kicked her out of the hospital if I'd said anything. And I needed her there.
Yeah,
It hurts me to say that. I needed her there.
No, I can understand that. I mean, there are situations where you need help and it's the only person that's going to give it to you.
Kills me more than anything. Part of me absolutely despises, and with good reason, my mother.
You're muffled again, Head.
Yes.
Part of me, with good reason, with very good reason, despises my mother. But I know I need her. There are times when I need her.
I understand. It's a very conflicted state to live in.
I can imagine.
That's why I tell you, you're stronger than you think you are. Because of what you have gone through, what you continue to go through. You say
right now.
You say your brother's going to be, famous, he's going to be a superstar. You are one for dealing with all of this.
Yes.
I'm fighting not to ugly cry right now.
Oh, it's okay.
You can't see it, but I'm fighting tears right now.
It's okay. I mean,
Truly
honestly,
is.
I want to reach through the phone and like hug you really bad. I'm super proud of you because of how far you've come since the time we've met. And I mean, you and I have been friends and known each other for quite a bit now. It's been well over a year. And yeah, I've seen how far you've started to open up and to let more of the pain out and everything. And it's just, I know you still struggle, and I know you're in the place where you are right now. There's still going to be issues and things, but you have come so far. You really have. And you may not see it yourself, but I see it.
Yep.
The sole fact that you came back to share more shows that, and the fact that you showed your face to us. I mean,
Briefly.
Exactly. C is absolutely right. I mean, you didn't have to show your face to me, to him, to Eve, but you did. And that's amazing. You're braver than you were before.
I agree. You okay?
I don't know.
It's okay if you need a minute.
I just,
Yeah, take your time, man.
I'm not as I said, I'm not a very religious person, but there's this story in the Bible that I always remember and that I always live by. And I could never find it. I don't know where it is in the Bible, but I know it's in there. Basically, the elevator pitch version of this story is this rich guy dies and goes up to heaven, and he's in the line to enter heaven. But everyone else around him has some degree of scars or wounds on their body. And his skin is as smooth as porcelain. Smooth as the day he was born. And
Okay.
he finally makes it up to St. Peter. St. Peter takes one look at the guy and says, "Wait a minute. Why is your skin so smooth? Where are your scars?" The man just looks and is like, "Well, I have none." St. Peter looks the man dead in the eye. And he says, "Well, why not? Have you nothing to fight for? Have you nothing to die for?" And that's how the story ends.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna say that the guy would say that his scars were more mental.
No, see, that's the thing. The story is, regardless if you had physical or mental scars, they show when you go to heaven.
Ah.
And if that story rings true, let me tell you, you will struggle to find any smooth skin on my body. You'd think a demon was trying to enter heaven. You'd think a zombie
I
was shuffling
doubt
into heaven.
that.
Not to get too religious or anything like that, because I would consider myself more spiritual than religious, to be honest.
Yeah.
If they measure you getting into heaven by the amount of scars that you have, then you're guaranteed to get in.
That wasn't the measurement. The measurement was, of course, you lived a good life. But the amount of battles that you'd fought, be they physical or otherwise, would show once you get up there. Because all is laid
Okay.
bare.
Well, we definitely know you're a fighter
And
because you're fighting for yourself right now.
Exactly. So the soul,
If
like
and
you're
when-
here right now, that it shows. Sorry for talking over you.
if and when I get up there, I hope someone's there to help me across that threshold. I might not be able to walk again on my own strength.
Well,
I might just fall at St. Peter's toes. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's
Just take
okay.
your time, dude. It's fine to cry. You don't have to apologize.
Not at all.
I dreamt about that once.
I'm
dreamt about it
I'm
once.
the biggest crybaby on this show, so trust me. Okay.
I still remember I had that dream about it.
Yeah.
Someone had to help me across the threshold.
But the point is you made it. Even if you have to have help, you made it. And that's correlates to things in life too. Sometimes
I collapse. And I look up. The Lord himself is standing right there.
That's a hell of a dream to have.
And he told me I earned my rest.
I bet that felt good to hear.
He said, "Consider yourself discharged, soldier."
You know,
Welcome home.
like I was saying, sometimes in life you need somebody to reach out that hand and help you across things. And I mean, I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for E.
I know
I
it might be a
can
little
I
sanctimonious for me to say. But one of the reasons why I don't go to church anymore is because the church is the house of God. And that's not where I'm needed. God doesn't need me at home. He doesn't need me around the house. He needs me out there, out in the world.
let's see.
The field hand does not go into the house of the master. Unless they are summoned.
See, that's the kind of I just don't know about that. I think this world needs you to be you. And I don't think you should have to be subservient, for lack of a better word, to anyone. You should be your own man and be able to live your own life. And I know that has been, quite difficult with the situation that you're in, because there could be, days when you feel like, oh, hey,
it's been impossible.
Yeah. Well,
It still is. For the moment, it's still impossible.
I mean, the thing is, it's a very hard thing to work up the courage to look at people and say, enough is enough. I'm tired of being treated this way. And I know this because it took me over 37 years to be able to stand up and say, stop it. You can't do this to me.
Taking me 26 and counting.
That's a long, long time to not be able to stand up for yourself. And I was only able to do that because I had people that I knew truly loved and cared about me standing behind me going, I got you. You can do this. But it also takes, it's something that has to be done in your own time as well. When you're emotionally ready for it, when you're mentally ready for it.
And then,
no one should push you to do it.
Just the other day, I didn't go inside, but I just drove out to, I was running errands anyway, but I drove over to the Shepherd Hospital and just drove around the campus there. They got a ring road that goes around it. I didn't go inside. I have no business in there. Not anymore. But I just drove around it slowly.
Well, I mean, it was obviously a place where, the staff and everything, or members of the staff at least, you have some good memories, even though I know you were in the hospital, it was a serious situation, but you have good memories with the people that were taking care of you. So I can understand, a little bit of nostalgia, being like, oh yeah, I remember this nurse,
Right.
Man, I'll be first to admit, I looked like shit coming out of
I mean,
I was so skinny.
Well, I mean,
I had lost
just
You
over
were
70 pounds. My absolute peak weight.
Oh wow.
I was just shy of 200 pounds at my peak. I was down to like 135-ish
Wow.
at the hospital. Low 130s. 62 kilos.
Wow.
And I hadn't shaved in about a week. I washed my hair in 5 days.
Well, being in the hospital.
I
Things
mean,
like
if it
that
makes you
happen.
feel any better, I've done that before too, not wash my hair for days. I know yours is like
I
you were in
couldn't.
the hospital, but I know, I know.
Well, I think, all of us, well, at least the majority of us and or people with our issues with, the mental health thing. I can admit I've gone days without washing my hair because I just don't have this energy to do it. I mean, it happens. It's not one of those things you really want to admit, but I mean, I think if more of us did admit it, we wouldn't feel so hard on ourselves about doing things like that
Right.
because we're not alone in doing them.
And I remember that last night when they were wheeling me out. I'm sitting there in the vestibule right by the door with Joe, the orderly, and just waiting for Mom to pull the car around.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked like a bum. My hair was all messy. I had this nasty, scraggly beard. I looked like hammered shit.
And
Well,
there were nurses coming in for the night shift as I'm sitting there, because it's about 7 o'clock at night. And these nurses, every single nurse walking in, kind of wave, like sort of subtly wave to Joe, because they know him. Because he works in the intensive care unit, and so do they. And then, right after waving to Joe, they looked at, their eyes would start over to me and look at me like, what the
I've
fuck is that?
I feel like at some point in time, most people who have siblings and things like that feel like they get compared to their siblings and people are like, what the hell is that thing? At least I've had that feeling in my life.
So we got in the car, we got home, and
You're a
I
little
could stand
muffled
and I could
again.
walk.
Sorry.
I couldn't walk on the stairs. Like, the stairs would hurt my knees. Because I'd been in a hospital bed for 5 days.
Right.
Yeah,
My legs were just gone.
you're a little weak after all of that.
And
Maybe even a little numb.
I got up, and I'm sitting there on the love seat like I am right now. And Ed's like flipping through the channels, and eventually we find ourselves sitting there watching The Croods on NBC. Which, objectively, is a pretty bad movie. It's a good kids movie, but it's a dumb movie.
I don't think it's so bad, but
And
I like animation.
I was ugly crying at the end of that movie. I was so weak that The Croods made me ugly cry.
Oh.
Dad's sitting next to me. Now, Dad hadn't seen me in those 5 days. We'd spoken on the phone, but he hadn't seen me until I got back. And he was taking care of the house and everything while we were gone. And he's sitting there next to me. He's got his arm around me. and we're both crying at the closing credits of this movie.
Aww.
I could count on my fingers how many times I've seen my dad cry. Both hands, but still, I can count on my fingers. Prior to that, the last time that I saw Dad cry was when the Cubs won the World Series in 2016.
That must have been a happy cry.
He was ugly crying. It was nasty. He wasn't even crying that hard when his mother, Grandma, passed away. And he was close with Grandma. Him and his mom were very close. But he wasn't even crying that hard when Grandma died. And I remember we're just sitting here, just crying. I didn't say anything, just crying.
I'd say that's because he was glad to have you back home.
He was. And then, after that, after the movie was over, he showed me these get well cards that we had gotten. Mostly from relatives.
Mm-hmm.
But then another one was from the 2-year-old, then 2-year-old, now she's 3, but then 2-year-old daughter of one of Mom's coworkers.
Aww.
Her name is Sawyer.
Aww.
She's the sweetest little thing. Her name is Sawyer. And she had drawn me this really abstract picture. Her mom wrote the card, but on the back of the card was this picture that she drew. And basically what the card said was that this lady that my mom works with had told Sawyer about what was happening with me. So she drew me this picture and then hands it to her mom and says, "He feel good."
Oh, my heart.
Aw. Also, I
And
just wanted to say,
it said that in the card.
Devern said, you think this guy was talking about the Minions. The Minions are pure trash, and you're talking about the Croods.
Oh.
Yeah, The Croods is not minion level trash, but it's bad. It's a bad movie. Objectively. It's a good kids movie. You know, for a kids movie, it's alright. But objectively, not a good movie.
I have so much of like a kid in me that I freaking love the Minions, and I'm all over here in my head going, banana! Sorry, Devern. Like, I don't know. I genuinely enjoy the simple things in life, like kids' movies, and Adam likes them too, and I like watching them with Adam. That's happy
Well, Adam
time for
is
us.
a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Adam's
So,
always been
when
a
I
kid.
put on a movie and I know the song in it and I start singing and he gets up and he starts jumping around and twirling and, laughing, and I get the biggest kick out of that. So I'll forever be a
Aw.
kid and watch those kind of movies.
I used to be that way when I was little.
We kind of
I don't
stuck
know
with
what
him.
changed. I don't know what happened.
Well,
I was such a happy kid. Until I wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of us. It was like we were really happy until we weren't anymore. And then it's just, I love those days where you feel mentally and physically okay, and you feel emotionally okay, and you feel like you could take on the world and do anything, but
Oh, those days are rare.
I was about to say they can be few and far between. But they're always great when they happen.
And then You know, I'm only 26 years old, but I feel like ancient history. Honestly.
I mean, some of us just have old souls.
Well, not just that, but just, oh my God. Of course, I've been through so damn much.
Hmm.
I've lived multiple lifetimes in these 26 years.
You've been through quite a bit that most people wouldn't even be able to imagine. I
Yeah.
know that.
So people tell me, to go to hell, and it's like, damn it, I've been there. I got the damn T-shirt.
I always joke that I have a VIP seat waiting for me.
I have I collect patches, and one of my patches literally says "Shit Creek Survivor." Damn it! If I ever get a jacket or something with so on, that shit's going front and center. I feel like Dante, man. I've been to the ninth circle of hell and back. But Virgil wasn't there to guide me. That's the only difference.
I was gonna say, did you have a Virgil along this journey or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
My tour was mostly self-guided.
yeah, there you go, and that's scary. That is really a scary thing. I honestly, I really dislike it when people are like, "Oh, you're too young to feel this way." It's like, look, my age, my physical age has nothing to do with the mental and emotional things that I have dealt with in my life. You don't know. Don't don't make that judgment. I know 18-year olds that have older souls and stronger minds than some 40-year-olds that I know. Just because of the experiences they've had and the things that they've gone through in their life.
Honestly, we would not be having this conversation if there was any remote risk that either of my folks would be walking through that door.
Oh, I
I
understand.
can't imagine.
They're 1,000 miles away.
I understand that.
Capitol Hilton right now.
I was
Probably
going to
just
say
getting home from dinner.
this is why the state was picked.
Yes, capital as in D.C.
Yeah.
They're in Washington right now with a couple that used to live across the street from us, who they're very close friends with, celebrating their 35th anniversary, and then this other couple, I think, their anniversary is next month, and I don't think this is a special year, but they're coming up on 25 pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, my parents hit 25 years right before my dad passed away.
Darn.
It's like their anniversary is in October and he passed away in November.
Yeah, so it's great. They're 1,000 miles away, and I was kind of hoping that they would have sought alternate transportation and not left Dad's car at the airport for the entire 5 days that they're gone.
Right.
Because that way I wouldn't have to drive Mom's car if Joe takes mine. Which he hasn't yet. Boy. So honestly, Mom's car is nice, but it is old, number one.
And number two, it is a Lexus, so it's a decent car, but it's from the days back when Lexus made cars that had zero road feel and had way over boosted power steering.
Mm.
And it
I
was
mean, as someone who knows,
ass.
I mean, I don't know anything about specific car brands or anything like that. I am very practical when it comes to a car thing. I know how to change a tire. I can check the fluids. I can change spark plugs and wires. And in a pinch, I could do an oil change. But that's where my knowledge of cars ends. Like,
See,
I
it's okay. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't worry. I have literally no clue about cars in general. It's just a car to me. It's just a car. I don't care about the brand. It's a car.
Yeah.
It goes from point A to point B.
Yes.
This car was Nani, her mother's car, before it was hers. And Mom sort of inherited it. It's a long story. But we wound up driving it home from Fort Myers, Florida, all the way here. All four of us. That was fun. After spending a couple days in Disney World, after Nani's funeral, partly to celebrate Mom's birthday, which is 2 days after mine.
Devern says, I understand him. My issue is just that I was sheltered and they want me to go out, but I have trouble. Him, I'm glad I don't have his problems.
You should be glad. The world should be glad that they don't have the issues. As much as it hurts me to say that, it's true. And both right before I was in the hospital and now very recently, I've gotten close with, well, we were close already, but I've gotten close with my aunt on my dad's side. It's Dad's older sister. Dad's the middle child of 3 kids. And I've told her quite a bit about my home life and, what's been going on.
Uh-huh.
And so far as I know, she's kept her secret. As far as I know.
Well,
the fact that I'm visiting her is not a secret.
Right. It's just the information you're sharing with her.
So far, she's kept quiet. And she knows what'll happen if she doesn't.
Well, I'd say she's probably someone trustworthy that you can share these things with then, and...
Yeah, I wasn't sure who else.
Right.
Who else in the family to tell?
It's nice to have just somebody that will listen, and sounds like she's,
Mom's side of the family is super close-knit, and they tell each other everything. And I know, because I'm close with... My mom's the oldest of 3 kids. She's got 2 little sisters. I'm close with one of the 2 sisters. To where, yeah, if the whole them telling each other everything wasn't the case, I could probably tell her. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But they tell each other everything. They're very close sisters. And the secret would be out as quick as I'd tell it.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm waiting for Mom to pass before her side of the family knows anything. Because she can't come to her defense when she's dead.
Right. Right.
You can't give an alibi from the grave.
Right.
I'm pretty much just biding time to tell anyone on her side.
You know, I get that. I just hope that, you know, when the time comes and you do open up about that, I hope that they listen to you and they don't just automatically, you know, shun you or say that you're making things up or things like that. I hope they truly listen.
Depending on how deep my brother's connections will get, it may be impossible to ignore. I mean, if you can get me on, you know, national TV or somewhere real big, I'm taking that chance. I'm not going to talk to Gayle King about it because I don't like Gayle King, but literally anyone else on national TV, sit me down. You know, whether it's the guys on GMA, whether it's, you know, Martha Raddatz, whether it's, I don't know, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. Neither of which I appreciate, but whatever. I think I'd rather go on Kimmel than Fallon. Honestly, if I had to choose, the lesser of those two evils is definitely Kimmel. But seriously, you get me on GMA, I will sit there with, you know, George and Strahan and all the others and just completely, not even spill the beans, but just cut open the can.
Yeah, I think if you got, you know, the audience like that you wanted, it wouldn't be time to just spill a bean or two. It would be the time to just, you know,
open the floodgate.
Yep.
And what's funny is, until a couple of years ago, when she pretty much stopped watching the news entirely, Mom would always watch GMA. Every damn morning. She'd watch GMA before going to work. And I had to sit through it. All the celeb gossip and everything on GMA. For years.
Yeah. I mean, I get the whole, you know, parents having a certain thing that they watch, because my mother was a Days of Our Lives addict. So.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Days of Our Lives.
Every day it was Days of Our Lives.
The only soap I can even stomach is General Hospital. And that's even barely.
I've never been a soap opera person. I know about Days of Our Lives because it was always on in the background. You just kind of absorb things.
I can't remember which one it was. It was Days of Our Lives or All of My Children. For one of those two, I watched it for all 30 seconds. And that was all I channel. 30 seconds. That's it.
Well,
yeah, I think it was All My Children. I just happened to flip in the channels and it was on. I'm like, good God, who watches this shit?
See, I'm that way with Grey's Anatomy, and I know many people love it. They love Grey's Anatomy and everything. I can't get it out of my head. Why are you having sex in the central supply closet? That's cross-contamination. You don't need to do that. I hate it. And I know it's a very strange thing.
Okay.
It's okay. My family used to watch that a lot too. I just usually just tuned it out.
As long as we're talking about shows we can't stand.
It happens.
Oh my God.
We had a little mini tangent back to the... We can go back to the real subject.
Yes.
I just cannot stand The Good Doctor. I love the premise. Hey, look, this kid's autistic, but he's an amazing surgeon. Awesome.
Right.
But the fact that he's autistic
is what comes first on the show. That's stupid.
Why can't they just highlight the fact that he's an amazing
He's a token
surgeon?
minority. He's the poster child of token minorities.
I've never seen the show, so
It's like Different Strokes, but with autism instead of, the kids are black. Basically, it's like that level of tokenism.
This is why I watch anime.
It's that level
That's
of
why I
tokenism.
stay on YouTube.
There you go.
And to be fair, the actor who is the star in The Good Doctor really is autistic. He's not just playing a character. He really does have Asperger's. So, points. But
At least they use someone who actually has,
Unlike a
Instead of just
different
having-
show on CBS, which I will never name. Because my parents have used the main character's name as an epithet around the house. I'll let you guess which show I'm referring to.
I actually probably wouldn't know. Most of my viewing is on streaming things now. I don't really watch a whole lot of.
Well, it was on CBS. It's now off the air.
Okay.
It recently ended, like a year ago.
I have no clue. I'm sorry.
let me give you a hint.
Okay.
It's about science.
The Big Bang Theory.
Yes! Fuck that ableist crap.
Okay, I never watched it.
I would kind of watch it with my family, yeah.
I
My
might have seen an
family-
episode or two, like in the background when somebody else is watching it, but I never actually sat and watched it myself.
For years. Until I put my foot down about it. For years. My parents used the main character's name as an epithet around the house. To refer to me.
Sheldon?
Yes. They used it as a slur around the house to refer to me.
Yeah, no. I
Whenever I
don't.
had my quirks. They'd be like, there goes Sheldon again.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that being.
No. It's
And
just
now,
a no from me.
WGN, good old number 9.
Right.
My favorite local TV channel is showing episodes of Young Sheldon at night. I'm like, guys, how could you betray me?
It's like, well, that's a half hour I'm not going to watch.
An hour.
Oh, an hour?
2
Wow.
episodes every night. Weeknights.
Jesus.
On good old number 9.
I am all for, people trying to learn more about, people who have, the issues. Like, I will talk forever about anybody who wants to listen to about Adam, because he is diagnosed with IDD and fetal alcohol syndrome, and people are like, what's that? You want to know about Adam? I will tell you about Adam. And I want people to have, the information about not only things like that, but autism, Asperger's, about mental health, about, all different kinds of abuse. I mean, there's so much information that I hope with this podcast, I think, I can speak for, not only myself, but also for C and E, that we want people more aware of the things that have been stigmatized and have been put down as bad, because we're never going to get people to accept that mental health is just health, period, without getting rid of the stigma around everything.
Right.
Whether it's a mental health issue, or it's issues like, people that have issues with, even physical limitations, or, disabilities and things like that. I mean, I want the whole world to be aware that you don't have to freak out about it. You don't have to walk away from these people. You don't have to shun them. We're all just people.
Sorry, I
Vern-
temporarily muted
Nope.
my mic because I'm having a very late dinner. Just gotta do my sugar test. Okay.
It's okay. Devern
Yes.
says, until we stop treating autistic people as zoo animals to study, we won't
Yeah.
be seen as people that belong.
Oh my god, you treat us so
You're very muffled.
Oh yeah, very,
My
very.
first episode, my Texas is gonna come out like Bexy's in that first episode. You remember Bexy?
Oh yeah.
Oh lordy. Oh baby. You talking about people treating you as an animal? I could write a book.
Oh, I understand it. I don't get it why people want to, gawk and poke a stick at others because, they think differently, or they have a different mindset about things. It's just
Right.
ridiculous to me. It's
Right.
okay. I don't see the world in the same way that, like, Devern does, but I love the way he sees the world. The last week when I was reading his writings and everything like that, I was like, this right here, his mindset, the way that he sees things. I don't always see things that way, but I love that he does. And by, reading and sharing his writings and things like that, I feel like I get closer to him and understand him better as a person, and I love that. Yeah, sorry, Devern, I just got a little gushy on you. I'm really just so proud of him too. I'm so proud of Devern. I'm so proud of you, Bob. I can't help it.
Bexy?
I'm just
Bexy? Let me tell you, if this doesn't bring your Texas out, nothing will. What I'm about to say is going to bring your Texas out full force. So get ready.
Uh-oh.
So, a few years ago, I had mentioned in conversation at dinner that basically that I had felt sometimes like my parents were treating me almost like a marionette, like I was on strings. And you know how Dad responded?
Hmm.
You need them.
Oh, hell no.
You need
Yikes.
them.
I am sorry, but no person needs another person pulling their string. Oh, hell to the no. No.
He said I needed my strings.
No, I don't think people need strings. Sometimes people need guidance. They need understanding. They need
Right.
unconditional love, but they don't need someone else trying to make all of their decisions for them. I mean, obviously, I am talking about, adults here, because children do not always know,
I was
their
an adult
brains
at
aren't
the time.
What
fully
is
developed.
best for them?
I was not
Their
a child
brains
at
are
the
not
time.
fully developed yet.
Exactly.
I was like 20
Exactly.
or 21 at the time.
But yeah, I definitely full-grown adults do not need anyone pulling their strings. I'm speaking as a person who has had many people pulling their strings for many years.
Point blank saying you need them.
No. I would vehemently disagree with that.
And then, last year, when I was in the hospital, I remember I'm sitting there in the hospital, and I remember this must have been Thursday morning, I want to say. I'm just sitting there, and I see these. I got 2 IV lines in my arm. Okay, one of which is a 15 centimeter, that's 6 inches, midline catheter in my arm to deliver some weight. And I'm sitting there in the hospital bed and staring at these wires, these lines, and all this tubing in my arm. And I'm just thinking, oh damn, now they're real. Now I really do have strings.
Well, the difference is those strings were helping you live.
Well, some would argue the other ones were too. Some would argue.
You know, it's... I still have to maintain that there's a difference between, guiding a person and pulling their strings. And the string pulling is what I just don't agree with.
Honestly, I feel like I'm Norman Bates, because I'm always talking about my mom. But, you know something?
As long as you don't go full on Norman Bates, you're okay.
It's going to take me everything to not blast I've got no strings in the parking lot at Mom's funeral.
I'm sorry to kind of
and
giggle
to dance
with that,
on the hearse.
That's a little cute.
I will dance on the hood of the hearse to I've got no strings. I will dance like Pinocchio. in my tux that I probably will be renting for the funeral.
Oh my goodness.
I will be on the hood of the hearse that's carrying Mom's casket, dancing to I've got no strings. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, Devern made a good comment. He says, that's my issue. I have wanted people to make my decisions because I get overwhelmed, and that's what I must overcome. Well, recognizing the issue is the first step to solving that issue.
Right.
So, well, good for you.
I would say go through a somewhat... I was going to say, Devern, I would go through a somewhat similar thing. I get pretty overwhelmed when making decisions for myself. But I kind of forced to do it now. But yeah, I hope it goes well for you, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Me too, because I really just want the best for all of you guys.
Exactly.
But seriously, I'll be there just standing there on the hood of the hearse. I got no strings. Hello, McDowell. I want trade string. And please, no strings on me. I don't give a shit.
Oh, goodness.
They'll be standing there in the church weeping. At Mom's, they're in the funeral home weeping at Mom's wake, and I'll just be out there.
Sometimes it's I don't know if it's something that's spoken of a whole lot or anything like that, but I get the feeling because, like, the passing of someone who is abusive is like a weight lifting off of a soul.
You know something's wrong about your relationship with the person when You are almost crying joy tears in the lawyer's office, reading their will. And seeing that there's a DNR. Do not resuscitate.
Oh yeah, I know what a DNR is. Very familiar.
I don't. I'm sorry.
No, DNR stands for do not resuscitate. It basically means that, yeah, it's basically if
Okay.
somebody is hospitalized and they, you know, they code in the hospital, you don't have to do CPR on them.
Okay. I understand that now.
Yeah, it's, the doctors asked me about that for my mother when she was hospitalized and everything, and she was already very weak and very frail. And I told them, yes, we did the DNR thing because if she had coded and they had tried CPR, the CPR would have done a lot of damage to her. I'm talking like broken ribs and things. So,
It does that to people, period.
Yeah, it does that to regular normal people, and my mother was very frail, so that's why we made the decision as her family to do the DNR.
One of my gym teachers in high school actually had a heart attack at a basketball.
Oh, you're very low again, hun. I don't know if you turned your head away from the microphone or what, but we can't hear you.
You hear me now?
There you go.
So, one of my gym teachers in high school had a heart attack at a basketball game. And one of the students just did CPR on him, actually broke one of his ribs while doing the chest compressions. This dude is not skinny at all. He's a big, burly guy. CPR broke his rib.
Oh yeah, because they really have you. They really have you, put some pressure on there. I know I'm certified in CPR because of, Adam and the nature of the last job that I had before I was just his full-time caretaker. And when I worked at the day hab that he attends, and I worked there for a little while, and I was certified in CPR and also in something called SAMA, which is a class they have you take so you learn how to properly restrain and calm down people who are really emotionally riled up and maybe have some mental issues and things like that, and you learn how to deal with them. And if you can't talk them down, then you learn how to properly restrain them without hurting yourself and without hurting them. That was an interesting class.
I can imagine. So.
Oh. Bob, we cannot hear you. Wait, I'm gonna.
Oh.
You're very, very muffled. You go in and out.
It's weird. Just took my meds.
Good.
Yay.
Okay.
Yay. I didn't take mine yet.
I haven't had my night meds yet. I did take my daytime.
I haven't had mine. My nighttime ones, at least.
It's kind of weird eating dinner at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's going to be a little strange for me because mine's going to be after the podcast. But that's okay. So, I know, we've talked about a lot of stuff this evening and everything is there. Do you have more that you feel like you want to talk about?
Well, what else has been hard for me is just trying to find a job. You know,
Yes,
it's weird. 'Cause everyone's complaining that they're short-staffed, which they are, and they're hiring. They have tons of open positions. Problem is, they're not hiring me.
yeah.
They're hiring folks, people, whatever, like me. Because the liability reasons or some shit.
Yeah, I can imagine it's difficult.
I mean, I had a warehouse job for basically a month back in June, which was rough, which was a shit show and a half. But hey, it was a job, and I got let go after the probationary period. And ever since then, ever since the end of June, I've been looking for jobs. Nothing. 3 months. Just over 3 months. Nothing.
Hopefully someone will hire you soon. I can only imagine how that is.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, it
I've
has to
had
be extremely frustrating.
I had one job interview in these 3 months, which didn't go anywhere.
Well, hopefully, you're going to find your
Big
place.
shout out to Half Price Books, which is based in Texas. Found that
I
out at the
love
interview. I didn't know that.
I love half price books. That's one of
Yeah,
my
big
favorite
thank you
stores.
and fuck you to Half Price Books. Your company's great. Your manager at the Algonquin, Illinois location is an ass.
Unfortunately, they can't, control the attitudes of employees and things like that. But I get it.
Now, I will say, the assistant manager who also sat in the interview, pretty nice lady. Very quiet, but pretty nice. But oh my god, the manager was a dick. She was just awful. She's one of those. Oh god. Here. Now, I was muted there for a second.
Hmm?
I was muted there for a second. What happened?
I'm not sure.
You were muted?
She's one of those nerds who like is into like really niche stuff and like judge you for not knowing about it. You know?
I don't know. I like my nerd stuff. I never am like, oh my god, I can't believe you don't know about it, unless it's someone I'm really really close to, and and I'm teasing them, but I'm not like mean about it.
She didn't say anything, but she rolled her eyes when I mentioned that I like George Orwell.
That you liked what?
George Orwell.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who that is.
Orwell. Have you ever read the book 1984?
No, but I hear a lot
Oh.
about it. I
Yeah,
hear a
Orwell
lot
wrote
about it.
1984. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
cool. All pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal than others.
That's Animal Farm.
Oh, jeez, come on. Really? This whole tap to mute thing again. What the hell? The tap to talk thing.
The mute button.
What's going on, Zoom?
It happens. I sometimes mute myself and don't mean to.
No, I didn't. It just did it.
Ah. That I don't know.
Oh, I get it, because it's plugged in. That's why.
Ah.
That's probably why.
Okay. But yeah.
Okay, get the hell out of it. Seriously? For some reason, it put itself in safe driving mode.
Oh, okay. That's what's happening.
What the hell?
There's a safe driving mode on Zoom?
I'm not driving. I'm not even moving.
Apparently on the phone there is.
I didn't even know that. Like, I didn't know that existed at all.
Oh, God.
It's good to know, I guess. For the future, just in case.
See, this is one of those extra lessons we learn here on Am I Mental?
Yeah. You learn something new every day, and that's something new that I learned.
Really? Jeez. Man, seems just being an ass.
Sometimes technology is not our friend.
Not right now,
Yeah.
ain't.
I don't quite like my Siri. She doesn't listen to me at all, so I don't even use her. She doesn't listen. So I totally get the technology stuff.
Apparently, there's a new Halloween update, and Siri now beatboxes.
Really?
What?
According to E, I have not tested it yet, but
What?
he told me ask Siri to beatbox. I was like, okay.
Oh man, I need to hear that. I'm curious.
What?
I'm curious.
Yeah.
It beatboxes now?
Apparently, I have not tested it out yet, but apparently, yes. You know, I've never known E to steer me wrong on these things, so if he's telling me to do it, it must be pretty freaking hilarious.
Okay, how the hell do I... Hang on. No, that's not it. Wait a minute. Nope. No, that's not it. There's gotta be a way to switch this off. Hang on. What the hell's going on here?
Please stand by. We are once again having technical difficulties.
Yeah, how do you turn this mode off?
I have no freaking clue.
Okay,
Honestly.
I'm gonna Google
Like-
this shit. Hang on.
I assume it would be somewhere in the settings. But then again, you know what happens if you assume. Anyway.
Okay.
So,
Settings.
did you figure it
okay.
out?
What? Settings. Wait. Where do I?
Okay. And while Bob
Wait,
figures
go to
out his
settings.
settings, I will, just take a little time to say to all of our listeners out there and everything, you guys really are the best. Thank you so much for, joining us on this show week after week. for putting up our weird, strange tangents, and for allowing us to have the opportunity to, give a voice to all of those people out there who have been our guests. And, we try very, very hard to be, better people than we were the week before, and to be more courteous and more attentive. And, I know we like to have fun and we like to joke around on here a lot, but in the end, we really are here for all of you guys. And we wouldn't be doing this without all of our listeners and all of our guests. So big thank you guys for that. Now I feel the sudden need to break into song for some reason, but the only thing going through my head is Ursula's song from The Little Mermaid, and that's hardly appropriate. When she's all
language. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
When she's all, I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me a witch. I'm just like, no, not appropriate, but funny.
Breaking out in song like a Disney movie.
Hey, I live my life to break
like
out
a Disney
in song
movie
randomly, to just randomly break out into song. I mean, and I do it all the time. This is really embarrassing, but I make up really weird songs, and I'm about to embarrass the crap out of myself right now. So I was, Adam comes walking through the house, and I was like, "Are you wet? Is your pull-up wet?" And he walked over to me so I could check, and I'm like, "Okay, you're wet. Let it go." And then I just randomly was like, "Let it go, let it go." Throw your diety in the trash. Let it go. Let it go. And I'm like, why am I singing to my child about throwing away?
It just happens. It just happens.
It does. It just happens. And I mean, it happens that I sing to my dogs about things, and all of my dogs have a song that I have made up about them. The very best one, in my opinion, is for my dog Osito, which is set to the tune of Despacito. Osito, walking around in a doggy Speedo. Tiny little Oso in a doggy Speedo. How I love my doggy that wears doggy Speedos. Osito. Don't ask me where that came from, other than I am just really, really weird about that. And I think we have lost Bob. Yes. Okay.
Oh,
we have lost Bob. That means you and I are alone, see?
Oh no. Oh no. We can't be left alone.
Oh no.
He's kind of back.
Oh wait. Bob is back. Bob is
All
back.
right. I think
Welcome back.
I think I've turned it off.
Okay.
Hopefully. You can't go into your settings while you're in a meeting, or at least I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I just had a little tiny mini freak out because I was like, oh no, we lost Bob. I'm singing about my dogs and Bob is gone. Oh no.
Well, I sent a message in the chat saying I'd be back.
I briefly saw that.
Yeah, I have my phone set on do not disturb mode, so I don't think I saw. Oh wait, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you are. Yeah, I just saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yay. Okay, back to Bob now. Now that we
No
hopefully
longer
have
left
the phone
alone.
issue fixed,
Yes.
What else would you like to talk about tonight?
Well, oh jeez. When was this? Oh geez, it was back on Saturday. Yeah. So usually on Saturday, my parents go grocery shopping, and this past Saturday, along with that, right before they went shopping, they drove up to McHenry and looked at this new housing development because they're looking to downsize in a couple of years. And they're looking at houses with the thought that I'm moving with them.
Without
with them?
That I'm going with them, yes.
without
Oh.
even asking you if you.
I mean, it's
like
a fair
to have-
assumption to make.
Yeah, but they're still not
'Cause like I said,
asking you.
It's been a couple
you know?
years. And at this rate, I'm not going to be out of the house in a couple years.
Okay, I get that it may be a fair assumption to make, but if they're making that assumption, then the nicer thing to do would be to kind of include you in the process.
They to an extent are.
Okay.
Like they're telling me, like, if you do move with us, which you probably will, we're gonna put in. Well, at first, when we first move in, you're gonna have this one bedroom, in the house, but eventually, once we moved in, you're gonna finish the basement and like build you a bedroom down there. Which would be nice.
Oh, definitely. Privacy is always nice.
It's gonna be like not quite a mother-in-law suite, but pretty close. Is the kind of arrangement that they've showed me. I actually have the house plan here in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about half the size of our current home, so yeah, just shy of half the size. So it's going to be a big adjustment.
Well, it could be a good thing.
Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but including the finished basement, our house is about, give or take, about 4,000 square feet, including the basement.
That's pretty big.
Wow.
Yeah, and the new house would be about 2,000. So
Well,
just shy of be like 1,800, maybe 2,000.
but you mentioned they were downsizing, though, right?
Yeah, but to half the house that you currently have,
Well,
especially with how much Mom hoards.
maybe they're serious about the downsizing. Who knows?
Mom has tons of crap in the storage room in the basement that she's never going to use. And a lot of it, admittedly, is from family. She's inherited or whatever over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But we're never touching it. It just sits there. It's all confined to one space, thank Jesus. But
It's just there, though, not being
Yeah.
put to use. Or I get
that's
it.
why we have a storage room in the house. Basically. It's that, our luggage, and a few other things. Including bottles of wine.
Okay.
My parents are big wine snobs, so
I'm not a wine person.
we
I'm not
got
a wine-
quite a collection. Not to brag.
I can't remember if I've ever tried wine or not.
Actually, if I could get my video going, I could show you.
Oh, wow.
Field trip! Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just give me a minute to get downstairs and I'll show you. Just... Pardon the mess. This storage room is the only, well, one of two unfinished rooms in the basement. All the rest of it's finished. But
Oh, cool.
here we are. The storage room. And switching cameras, there we are.
Oh, nice.
And,
That's a lot of
that's not all of it.
bottles.
That's not all of it. That's just most of it.
Oh, wow.
And then there's this over here.
Well, I know where I need to go if I need to get
And
drunk.
there's a couple more
No.
chilling upstairs. There's a couple more chilling upstairs.
Deverne says, "This is where I contradict myself. I am glad my parents assume I will be with them." He also said, "I am so glad they consider me. They over-consider me, but goddamn, I am lucky. All these podcasts have given me a different perspective on myself."
Let me just highlight a couple things that I'm seeing here. So, my parents are members of a couple wine clubs. One of them is from Artesa Winery from Napa Valley. It's one of their Cabernets. This is a 2016, to be exact. Or sorry, it's a Pinnacle, not a Cabernet. Sorry.
He
the red wine
speaks as
blend.
if I would know the difference. No.
It's a red wine blend. Yeah, all these are Mom's whites. They're all shards. Mom loves her Chardonnay. These are all Mom's oaky shards on a separate rack.
Well, you know, put your favorites aside. I get that.
Pretty much everything here on this big rack is red. There are a few whites in there, but it's pretty much all red wine. And then up here, it's all Chardonnay.
This is like me when I eat a handful of gummy bears. I separate out all the white ones and I eat them last because they're my favorite.
Now, along with many other things, this is one major place where Mom and I seriously differ. She loves oaky, dry Chardonnays. The drier, the better. I hate them.
I'm just not.
I don't
I've
drink
had maybe
very
2
often.
or 3 glasses of wine in my entire life, and I'm in my 40s, so I'm just like not a drinker.
I rarely, if ever, drink, but when I do, I like sweeter shards, ones that aren't oaky. And
The only-
thank God that they now do this. There's this liquor store by us called Binny's. It's a chain, Midwest chain.
Mm-hmm.
And they have on their Chardonnays that aren't oaky, they have a barrel and then a red circle with a slash through it over it.
So you can tell at least.
It says not, basically it just means not oaked. Yeah, they're sweeter.
There you go.
They used to not do that, but now they do that. So you can just
that's
tell at a
nice.
glance that, oh yeah, these aren't oaky shards.
Yep. And I'm just over here like, oh, somebody passed me the tequila.
Oh my god, we just got this one a few months ago. Ooh. Oh yeah, Dad just bought her that bottle. Right. For their anniversary, yeah. This bottle of Rombauer. Real classy shit.
Nice.
Not cheap.
Ah.
Not cheap at all.
I bet.
It was crazy though. It was partially for my 21st birthday, but also for their 30th anniversary 5 years ago. We went to Sonoma, all 4 of us, which was fun. and we did a couple wine tastings. And I feel like such a snob for saying this, but the only wine that I liked on that tasting was $50 a bottle.
Damn.
All the other wines sucked. And they had this Chardonnay that was $50.
Yeah.
$50 a bottle. I almost told the guy to leave the bottle. It was that good.
Wow.
I don't even like drinking it, and I love that wine. They got me a bottle just for me because I loved it so much.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was so good. It's the only bottle of it that we've ever bought because, yeah, it's $50.
Yeah.
By the way, hot tip. Unless you're in a pinch and you just need something to serve, never buy a wine that has a regular retail price, not a sale price, but regular retail price, less than $10.
I don't usually buy wine at all, so I'm good.
But if you do, yeah, unless you just need a table wine, you just need anything. You just need a wine. Don't buy something less than $10 a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the few rules that they've told me that is just stuck. And they know tons about it.
Oh, I'm sure.
About it for the last 10
I mean,
years.
if they're serious enough that they have, space in a storage room.
The term is called wine snob for a reason, Bexy.
Oh, I'm sure.
They haven't shut up about it since their 25th anniversary a decade ago. When they first went to Napa. They learned everything when they were in Napa for a week and have never shut up about it since.
Oh, they're impassioned
Prior to
about
that
it,
trip to Napa, Mom drank white Zinfandel. If you know anything about wine, you know white Zinfandel is not good wine. It's cheap. Mom didn't know the difference. Before they went to Napa, she didn't know the difference. She'd buy this Behringer white Zinfandel, which is like $6 a bottle at the time. It's just like a step above box wine. You know that Franzia stuff that they sell at the grocery store?
Yeah.
A step above that. It's barely a table wine. And she drank that. And be fine with it. She didn't know the difference. And she asked. They went to Behringer. Their first wine tasting was at Behringer. And they asked. She asked for the white Zinfandel. They wouldn't serve it at the wine tasting. It was that bad. It's that low tier in their wine list. They don't serve it at the tastings even if you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that
That's
much
just...
of the cheap swill that they don't even, yeah, it's theirs. They don't, associate with it.
That's pretty...
It's like the creepy uncle in your family.
I guess.
Yeah, it's family. We don't talk about it. Ugh.
Okay, so...
Ooh. Wait, is that... Oh.
What?
Oh, man. Ooh. Wait, if we just got these... Oh, shit, we're getting a shipment this month. We get a shipment every 2 months of Dad's Reds. And these Reds down here are 8/21, August of 21, so... That means later this month. Oh, boy. Dad's going to have to depend on me for that. Great. Because you have to sign for it because it's liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to be at the door when they deliver it, otherwise they won't deliver it.
Right.
They'll just put up one of those "sorry we missed you" signs.
Oh yeah, I bet that would that would suck. So, yeah. Good thing you'll be there to sign for it.
Actually, I was there for the August one. It was so funny. The guy comes to the door and hands me the box. He's like, "Yeah, I think it's liquor. You got to sign for this." I'm like, "It is liquor. It's Dad's wine shipment. He gets it every other month." He's like, "Oh, he's a wine club member?" I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah, he is." He's like, "Oh, cool."
Okay.
Ugh.
Now that we have explored the wide world of wine, or at least a little bit anyway, I know a little more about wine than I did before. So.
Yeah, now I think up here we have one of those little bottle fridges, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where you store wine, you chill for later.
Okay.
And I think we still have. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh, this is so. Oh man, is it still there? Ooh, this is not what I was looking for, but ooh. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. 18 years old.
Oh wow.
This wine is not old enough to drink itself, but pretty close.
Man, it's as old as me.
And it's from France.
Oh wow.
It's an actual Chardonnay from France.
It's literally from
Louis
2003
Jadot.
as well.
2003 Louis Jadot. Chardonnay. Wow. No wonder it's kept here in the fridge. It turned to vinegar otherwise. Wow. That's the thing about wine. Eventually, it turns into vinegar.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do we got down here? What the
We
fuck
have
is
to
this?
store it properly and keep it out of the light and all that stuff.
Yep. Wait, why did we... Okay, Dad, what the hell are you doing?
Well, I'm not too sure.
Oh my God. You put bottles of vermouth in the wine fridge.
Maybe he wanted it chilled.
You don't chill vermouth.
I don't know this.
Dude. I don't know jack crap about liquor, but even I know that. Oh. Okay. Yeah. We used to be members of Mum Napa's wine club. They make some pretty good sparkling wines. But their wine club membership fees were exorbitant. And we gave that up pretty quick. But what was cool about them...
I'm sorry, Devern is cracking me up. He's just like, Ver has the biggest mooth. Believe me, that Ver chills his mooth all the time. Oh, God.
They had a special edition Santana sparkling wine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as in the band.
Yeah.
They actually
no,
had the actual Santana logo on the bottle.
like, as the whole, played with Rob Thomas, Santana. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
We had a couple
pretty
bottles
awesome.
of that. We don't anymore, but we've drank those. We had a couple, and I remember I think we had like 3 or 4 bottles of it, and between New Year's and birthdays and whatever other celebrations,
Uh-huh.
we drank it all over the years. So, ugh. How did I get on this tangent?
I don't know, but
Yeah, we're
Of all the random
Yeah.
tangents,
Of all the random tangents, yeah, I don't
Let's talk about
quite
wine.
remember how we ended up on it, but maybe it's time to go back to the actual story.
Where were we?
Oh goodness. You know, this is why I should take notes and I shouldn't be left alone.
Where were we?
Yeah.
Well, I had asked you if there was anything else that you wanted to talk about, so.
Oh, yes. So, how do I put this delicately? So, I don't know which part of Mom this is. If this is the part of her where, you know, she's just like worried and like caring about me, or like, you know, the whole valuing Joe's interests over mine, not valuing mine.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the places, especially recently, that I've been applying to are like bike shops and cycle gear and places like that. And for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't approve. She's fine with me doing it because it's my decision. She didn't stop me. I'm an adult. I can do that. You know, I can apply wherever I want. But
Yeah,
you know,
I can.
I'm always like looking up stuff about bikes and stuff, and she's like, "You're not getting a motorcycle." And I'm like, "Yeah, not now. I don't have the money." And she's like, "Not ever." Like, if I have the money, it's my money.
Yeah.
I'm buying what I want to buy.
Well, you know, I mean, part of that could be out of just, you know, her concern for you.
I hope so. I hope that's the part of her that's talking.
Well, you know, if she didn't care, she probably wouldn't object at all.
You're probably right, but honestly, again, can't believe I'm saying this, but there aren't very many things that I would put past and or beneath her. If that makes sense.
Right.
Oh, I can understand. I mean, there's, you know, the behavior that she has shown and everything like that. I mean, I get it. But, you know, there's also a part of her you know, there is a part of her, I think, that definitely cares, but then there is a part, like Deverne just said, people will object just to be controlling, which is, you know, the other side of that issue. It's hard to tell sometimes with a person whether they just want to be controlling over everything or if it's genuine concern.
Right.
So, until not the last meeting, but the one before that, my mom's book club met via Zoom. They didn't meet in person because COVID. And they, of course, would have like funny nicknames for each other, like we did here in this chat.
Right.
You know what mom's was?
Oh, do I even want to ask? I'm curious, though. What was it?
And Queen of the Universe.
Well, that's rather grandiose, isn't it?
She's in my contact list as Queen Anne. She knows that, but she doesn't know why. She knows that she's there as Queen Anne.
Mm-hmm.
She's even seen it on my phone.
Oh.
She once saw that I was texting her, and of course it says Queen Anne at the top, and she saw her number. She's like, "You have me in your phone as Queen Anne?" I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, I do.
Probably appeals to the ego.
It does. So she doesn't mind. Because she doesn't know why she's in my phone as Queen Anne.
Right.
I can't remember who I told about this. One of my old friends. But... and this was in front of Mom. And she didn't confirm this, but she didn't deny it either. Basically what I had said was, yeah, Dad's the one paying the bills. Don't get me wrong. But it's her house. She didn't deny it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't outright agree with me, but she didn't deny it. Which really says volumes. Says pretty much all you really need to know about her on the surface. Dad pays the bills when it's her house.
It's like that sometimes, I suppose. You know, I guess it seems odd to me because I grew up in basically a single parent household, so everything was my mom's.
Yeah, because your dad was gone.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
Your dad's not there.
Yeah, I know. Alright, let's see. We are rolling right along with this podcast. We've got about 40 minutes or so left.
Wow.
Not too bad.
Wow. Actually, I think we've gone longer than the first episode.
I think it might have. So, you know, I mean, I feel like you've, you know, unburdened yourself a little bit more this episode than you did the last one.
Certainly.
You know, I'm really glad about that. So, you know, yeah, I mean, anything else to add to what we've already gone through today?
I think we're good.
Yeah?
I think so.
I think I think you've done a tremendous job tonight, honestly.
I think you have too.
I'm
really proud of you, bro.
Yes, really, really proud of you.
Did you just... Oh my god. See, what did you just call me?
Bro? I'll call a lot of people bro, dude.
Yeah.
My heart.
Oh, I love that sea smile. Yeah, that's the one.
My heart.
I know.
Oh, did I make it explode? You look very shocked.
My heart.
Aww.
Aww.
I think you know, like we were saying, C and I were both very proud of you. You've come a very long way from the first time that we met you. You've opened up so much, you've shared so much, and I really appreciate that you know, you were willing to come back on the show and share more. I think, you know, I can speak for, you know, E in that regard as well, because I know, you know, tonight he's not feeling well, so he's taken a step back, but you know, and he's let C and I run with this tonight. We'll see how you know, that's happened one time before, so yay for us. We're getting better at it, I think. So I'm really proud of you for saying all that you had to say, Bob, and for coming on and using your real name and revealing a little bit more about yourself to all of our listeners. You have made me immensely happy. My little heart.
God, I haven't
loves
smiled
you.
this much in ages.
Good.
Aw.
I love a smile on your face. It's a great thing to see. It really is.
It kind of hurts.
That's the
My
best
cheeks hurt.
kind, when you smile so much it hurts. I love it. It's like laughing until your sides hurt. That's a great feeling.
My cheeks kind of hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, So we've had. I think this has been a really great show. Once again, I want to remind all of our listeners that you can find all of our episodes on our website at mimental.net. You can also find our donation pages there. You can find the link to our Teespring store there if you're looking to give us a little help, a little support. Financially, we would absolutely love it for this podcast to become self-sustaining, because everything that gets donated goes directly back into this podcast. I also want to remind you guys to please click the like button and click the shares and share with people that you think would be, that you think the episodes would resonate with. Friends, family, coworkers. Share it on your Twitter. Share it on your Facebook. It every little bit helps us, and I think that's going to do it for us this evening. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say goodnight to all you lovely viewers out there. From, Am I Mental? I'm Bexy.
I'm C.
And we'll be back next week with another great episode. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.